Sup guys, and welcome back to another FNF Fury. And today's Fury is going to be short and simple, as I'll be talking about the last update that appeared during the Song Pack 2 trailer. The one which confused me the most when I heard about it for the first time, especially since it's exclusive to the TikTok version of said trailer, the Weekend Free update. So let's begin, shall we? Of course, we obviously know it's gonna be a Pico focus level, especially since we already know that the weekends are only for Pico, as confirmed by Phantom Arcade.
The children yearn to know. Will Pico be the only character we play as during the weekends? Please, Mr. Arcade, we got to know! And yeah, the weekends are his side story. Dragon hit the dollar and said, wait, just to confirm, the weekend levels are just going to be Pico, right? The weekend levels are his side story, yes.
So we obviously know it's gonna take place after the events of both Weekend 1 and 2. Unless the weekends have a confusing timeline like the main story levels. But yeah, we can assume that Weekend 3 will take place after the events of Weekend 1 and 2. Spoiler warning for those who haven't seen my Weekend 2 video yet, which you should check out by the way, before you continue with this one. But anyway, in that video I came to the conclusion that Cassandra would be a perfect fit for Pico's opponent in Weekend 2 due to 1. How important she is in Pico's school, 2. The fact that we keep seeing her pop up in the game despite her not appearing as an opponent in a level yet. Examples of this being her appearing in Week 5's Erect background and her face appearing in Pico's free play stickers, which could be the best way of teasing an eventual confrontation with Pico. 3. It could work as a nice parallel to Bia's story if we can run serving as Pico's tutorial due to it introducing the player to important gameplay mechanics, as well as introducing Pico's GF replacement, aka companion, or Weekend 2 could parallel Week 1 by introducing the player to the main antagonist of each character's respective storylines. And finally, it's because it would just be cool to see Cassandra finally make her appearance in the base game. But yeah, for me, all roads lead to Cassandra. But obviously, since we have yet to see any news regarding Weekend 2, let alone Weekend 3, we still can't make a definitive guess on who the heck is going to be opponent of Weekend 2. But for the sake of this Fury, I'm just gonna assume that my Fury is right and that Weekend 2 will focus on Pico facing off against Cassandra once more. So with that said, here's what I think will happen in Weekend 3. So after Pico beats Cassandra in Weekend 2, she'll realize that Pico is still just as powerful as he was in Pico's school. So she would probably escape from Pico after the last song, and her next course of action would be to send someone after him while she makes a plan B to deal with Pico and his friends, which will lead to Weekend 3. And even though I mentioned a ton of possible opponents on who could be Weekend 3's opponent in Weekend 2, I'm just gonna say the one who feels the most like they could make a perfect opponent for Weekend 3, and that's Alucard. So that's it. I think that Alucard is the most likely candidate to be Weekend 3's opponent due to the fact that he's probably the only surviving golf kid since he's an optional kill in Pico School, and his fate is still vague in FNF's lore. Both Cyclops and Hanzo were both confirmed to be dead in FNF's timeline. 2. Due to him being one of Pico's first opponents in Pico School, it would make perfect sense for him to come back and face Pico. 3. It would be cool to see him just make an appearance again, especially since he's one of the most iconic golf kids. So that said, here's how I think Weekend 3 will go down. After Pico either manages to wound Cassandra again or he barely manages to escape after her attacks, she'll then form a plan to send one of her henchmen, in this case Alucard, to finish off Pico. So he goes to face Pico to a rap battle, and also to probably attack him during the third and possibly the fourth song of Weekend 3, similar to how Daniel does to Pico during Weekend 1. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens until then. But with that said, I think this is about it for me to wrap up the video. Thanks again for watching yet another videos if you're someone who's been watching my content for a while. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Also follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok so that you never miss an upload. And you can always stay up to date with my latest videos. And thanks to Jameson Sloan for helping make my thumbnails again. Really appreciate you, man. And also, you must make And yeah, I think that's about it for all the promotion stuff. Sorry that this video took a bit longer. I kind of got delayed with some stuff. Plus, I had some phone troubles earlier, so I couldn't release the video yesterday. But and not to mention, I also wanted to check out the new status for Pokemon Wins and Waves since I am a Pokemon fan. And yeah, this game looks good. Who knows? Maybe if you guys want, I can probably make some Pokemon content if you want. But for now, I think I'll probably just stick for FNF and Deltarune. And while we're on the topic of FNF, I am gonna make a major video which will just be focused around talking about what I think the whole roadmap will look like. So just go through all the updates we've seen so far, as long as also just checking out, as long as just checking out stuff which I think will happen down the map. So yeah, stay tuned in for that one. But for now, after I release that video, the only FNF content which I'll probably only make will be only just focused on shorts, or just until week 8 drops. Then that's when I'll start making more FNF videos again. But for now, I think I'm just kind of want to just like focus less on FNF. I want to focus on other stuff like Deltarune and probably also other games. But I hope you still stay around to check those out if you're if you're also a fan of Deltarune on top of being a FNF fan. With that said, I think that's about it for today. Anyway, later nerds.